What makes Christianity unique among all the religions of the world can be summarized by the word grace. Now, there are many uniquenesses, but that word is a summary word of the uniqueness. Why? Because all other religions tell you what you must do to make yourself acceptable to God. Christianity, however, is centered on what God has done to make us acceptable to Him. The short definition would be unmerited favor. Unmerited favor. It is the superior granting kindness to an inferior, for which the inferior cannot demand, does not deserve, and would never be able to repay.
Grace will set you free from the tyranny of other people. Some of you are prisoners to other people's foolish opinions, their unreasonable demands, their domination and manipulation of your life. Quit trying to please the tyrants who are trying to control you. You take charge of your life, or someone else will, regardless of what you do. And I can tell you this from experience. It makes no difference what you do or don't do. You're going to be blamed for something by somebody. So go on and enjoy your life and make the decisions you and God make together, and it's going to be a wonderful life.
There are times we're going along and minding our own business, and suddenly we know something we're supposed to do. We feel it so strongly in our spirit. This urging telling us to forgive the person that hurt us. Or we've struggled with an addiction for years, but suddenly we have a new desire to get free. We've been dreaming about starting our own business, writing that book. All of a sudden, we know it's our time. Those are not just nice thoughts. That's God speaking to us. He doesn't ask us to do something and then doesn't give us the ability to do it. With that urging, you'll feel faith rising up. You'll have the favor, the determination, the strength to do what you couldn't do before.
When you go to work and you get a check, that's not grace. You earned it and could fuss if they didn't give it to you. If you're in a contest, a competition, and you win, that's not grace. You earned that through your performance. That's earned. Grace is unearned. It's unmerited favor. A bigger definition is grace is the inexhaustible supply of God's goodness, whereby He does for us what we could never do for ourselves. It is what God does for us independent of us. That's grace. If you can earn it, if you deserve it, it's not grace. In fact, as you'll see in a moment, you can literally cancel the operation of grace by trying to earn the unearnable.
There's no such thing as lucky. Luck is when other people describe somebody's hard work. Luck is actually when hard work bumps up into opportunity. There's no such thing as luck. There's a thing called grace and favor, but it ain't no such thing as luck. Luck is in Vegas. Luck ain't in life. The rest of life is grace and favor. God passes out grace, His unmerited grace. You can't earn it, you can't buy it. You know, that's why you hear old people say that old song, all I want is a little more grace, because you can't buy it. If I could get anything in this life, I would ask for more grace, because you can't buy it. If you could buy it, I'd take every dollar I had and put it into grace. Grace and favor, that's what I get.
But here's the key, it's a window of grace. It's not going to last forever. Too often, we hear the still small voice, but we put it off. I know I need to forgive, but I'll do it later. I know I need to get in shape. take care of my health. I'll do it soon. I feel this new passion, new confidence to step up and lead my department. One day I'm going to do it. The problem is that window is going to close. Don't take the grace for granted. That is a destiny moment where God is making a way where you can come up higher. When you feel that faith, you have to step into it. That's God saying, this is your time. This is your moment.
God's grace is greater than all of your sin. For where sin did abound, God's grace did much more abound. That is an awesome verse of Scripture. Where sin did abound, God's grace was much greater than the sin. I've heard people say, well, I've committed adultery. God's grace is greater than that. Well, I've horribly failed. Everybody on planet Earth has failed. God's grace is greater than your faults and failures. But I'm into the occult. The grace of God is greater than the power of sin and Satan. Well, I've committed murder. That's terrible. But Moses killed the Egyptian. He committed murder. David committed murder. He killed Uriah, the husband of Bathsheba, the woman he impregnated. He killed her husband to shut him down. Yet God used him in the future. St. Paul killed Christians. He put them in jail when he was a Pharisee. And some of those Christians were put to death. He was a monster before he came to know Christ. Because God's grace is greater than all of your faults and failures.
Success is a series of principles. Anybody can be successful if you apply the principles of success. And one of the biggest principles that most people miss out on is gratitude. The reason some people aren't getting what they want in life is because they ain't even grateful for what they have. I mean, God is a really smart God, you know what I mean? If he gives you something and you're not grateful for it, why would he give you some more stuff to not be grateful for? I mean, he just keeps waking you up. He done gave you somewhere to stay. You got something to drive. You got food to eat. You got clothes to wear. You got some love in your life. You got a family. But you'll never say thank you for that. If you really want to start changing the way you receive stuff, you got to start being grateful for where you are.
The scripture says, today, if you hear his voice, harden not your heart. That's not just talking about salvation. When you hear his voice telling you to have a better attitude, to treat your spouse more respectfully, to tithe your income, the reason it's so strong is God is opening a window of grace. That's the time to obey, not tomorrow, not next week, but right then. When that window opens, you'll feel a divine empowerment, God breathing on you in a new way. You'll have the grace to forgive, the confidence to step up, the favor to succeed. When you have the faith for it, that's the time to act. Don't make excuses. Don't put it off. Later, I'll get serious. You're not always going to feel what you're feeling. That grace is on you for a season to help you accomplish what God is asking you to do. Today, when you hear his voice, obey. Step into that grace. Take advantage of what God is offering you.